എല്ലാവരും ദയവായി അവരവരുടെ സീറ്റിൽ ഇരിക്കുക. ഈ വാതിലിൽ ദയവായി ആരും നിൽക്കരുത്.
Governor of Kerala and Chief Guest, honorable dignitaries on the dais, members of legal fraternity, ladies and Justice Krishna Iyer Award 2018 organized by the Law Trust. All are requested to stand up while the national anthem is on. Let us thank Almighty, take His blessings and move forward. I invite Advocate Leda Prem Kumar for the prayer and request the invitees to rise for the prayer.
Governor of Kerala, Sri Justice P. Sadashiv, Honorable Mr. Justice Devan Ramachandran, His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati, Advocate M. Shahid Ahmad, and other respectable dignitaries in the dais, honorable judicial officers, learned advocates, the law trust members, my dear friends and students. We are gathered here for the presentation ceremony in memory of Justice Iyer, the legend of Indian judiciary instituted by the Law Trust. The judgment and pronouncement of Justice Krishna Iyer ran as epics in the history of Indian judiciary. During the tenure of service, Justice Krishna Iyer was much concerned about the upliftment of human rights, conservation of democracy, freedom, equality, and justice to all. His heart throbbed, especially for the weaker section and the downtrodden among Indians. His findings, words, advices, and even rebels rendered hope and peace to Indian community as a whole. The Trust has already felt proud to introduce an award in memory of the late Justice P.R. Krishna Iyer, and we have started it giving away since 2015. The award committee has unanimously decided this of any award includes by whom it is presented also. We are proud to have Justice P. Sadashiva, Honorable Governor of Kerala, to present this award. The veneration is magnificent. Receiving the invitation of this humble trust and honoring the award, making the ceremony as an auspicious one. Honorable Justice P. Sadashiva, hailing from an agricultural family in Iyer district of Tamil Nadu. Sri Justice P. Sadashiva graduated from the Government Law College, Madras in 1970. Government pleader and legal advisor to several public organizations. He was appointed as a permanent judge of the Madras High Court. He was elevated to the post of Judge of Supreme Court on 21st August 2007. He was sworn in as the 14th Chief Justice of India in 19 July 2013. And national process is evident in many path-breaking judgments like the Reliance Gas judgment. His directives to the union and state government to prohibit manual scavenging and to grant compensation to families of those who died in series in 1993 shows his concern for the downtrodden. Justice Sadashiva is also credited with the judgments that led to the implementation of the reservation for the disabled and the introduction of electoral reforms like Nota, paper trail, etc. Sadashiva delivered the judgment in the Mumbai blast case, the biggest case heard in the history of the Supreme Court. His decision in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination accused case on the unexplained and unreasonable delay in disposal of perceived petitions by the President, leading to commutation of death sentence into life term, was also noted nationwide. The Governor of Kerala on 15 September 2014 has pioneered a quality improvement drive in higher education by instituting the Chancellor's Award for the best university in the state. His interest in agriculture, concern for the welfare of farmers, commitment to social justice and democratic values have made him a people's governor. Justice Sadashivam is married to Srimati Saraswati and has 2 sons. I respectfully welcome Honorable Justice P. Sadashivam on behalf of the Law Trust and the distinguished personality. His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati Father, the present head of Sri Iyer Mutt, successor of Sri Kesavananda Bharati Swamiji, at the age of 19 on 14 November 1960, and since then blessing and guiding his followers and devotees coming from all parts of India and abroad. Swamiji invites wholeheartedly every visitor without any discrimination of religion, caste and rich or poor. Swamiji regularly and actively participates in religious, cultural, art and social activities. Swamiji is a great Carnatic and Hindustani singer. Sri Swamiji was described by Advocate Nana Kakiwala thus: history may look upon Kesavananda Bharati's case as the greatest contribution of the Republic of India and to the constitutional jurisprudence. The name of Sri Kesavananda Bharati remains indelible in the annals of Indian judiciary. His name is an icon that remains in the hearts of the legal fraternity, which continues forever. Swamiji is an ardent pursuer of Advaita, which is the cornerstone of unity and integrity. It is indeed a privilege for the God Trust to honor His Holiness with this prestigious award in the name of the legendary tourist Justice Krishna Iyer, that too from the hands of another legendary from the Indian judiciary, Justice P. Sadashiva, our Honorable Governor. I welcome Your Holiness, Sri Kesavananda Bharati. Honorable Mr. Justice Devan Ramachandran, Sir, we are grateful and much obliged to your Lordship's acceptance in our invitation to deliver a keynote address in this occasion. I humbly welcome your Lordship to this session. Advocate Bishop Shah, sir, I sincerely welcome your good self to this session. Advocate Joseph Joe, Honorable Member of Bar Council of Kerala and former Chairman, Bar Council of Kerala. Sir, I welcome your good self to this occasion. I welcome Advocate Mangaladhara in this occasion. I welcome Sri Dr. Professor N.K. Jayakumar sir in this occasion. Advocate Prema Kumar, the Secretary of Last Trust. I welcome Sri Prema Kumar to this function. Furthermore, importantly, I would like to welcome the Honorable Judicial Officers, learned advocates, media friends, trust members, my friends and students who have come to witness this auspicious ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. N.K. Jayakumar, Advisor on Law to the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, to deliver the fellowship.
Honorable Mr. Justice Devan Ramachandran Court of Kerala, Patron of the Law Trust, Sri Shaheen Member, other respected personalities on the dais, distinguished members of the audience. It is indeed a privilege for me to be a part of this function. And I recollect with a sense of pride that I was the chairman of the jury for the first award, Iyer Award instituted by the Law Trust 4 years ago. Today it is a special occasion because the award goes to His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati. My life I must have uttered the name of Kesavananda Bharati hundreds of times, but in a different context, without actually seeing the man in flesh and blood. Once when I went to the Central University of Kerala in Kasaragod, somebody told me that his ashram is nearby. I made an attempt to meet His Holiness. Unfortunately, during that period, he was somewhere else, he was traveling. So, this is a kind of opportunity, coincident opportunity for me to meet. Now, as law has to be understood and analyzed the social context. That is why the Law Trust has appropriately decided to have a seminar, that too on the basic structure doctrine, for which His Holiness Kesavananda Bharati was instrumental. And the seminar is just over. Standing on this dais, I must also recollect my own association with Honorable Justice Krishna and share with you the feeling of what society has lost when we lost Justice Krishna a few years back. Anyway, Law Trust has decided to commemorate the memory of that great jurist by instituting an award, and now the 3 previous awards were given to well-deserved persons. I place on record my appreciation for the activities of the Law Trust and wish them the very best in their future activities, and I assure the Law Trust of all my support and encouragement in their future activities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I request Advocate Joseph John, member of the Bar Council of Kerala, to express his views.
Honorable Justice P. Sadashivam, Honorable Governor of Kerala, His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati Swamiji, Justice Devan Ramendran, Dr. N.K. Jayakumar, Sri Shakir Ahmed, Sri Sulega M, Sri Prem Kumar, dear friends, my duty is only to facilitate the function of awarding or presenting the Lord Trust Award to Swamiji. First of all, I congratulate Sri Kesavananda Bharati Swamiji for being honored by the Lord Trust in this occasion. As you know, he is a personality who is known to all who are acquainted with the constitutional law of India. It's an incident that the Honorable Governor of Kerala, who was the Chief Justice of India, is honoring him with the presentation of the award. Kesavananda Bharati is not honored with the award for the reason that he is a legal luminary or an academician. But his contribution for the existence of the constitution is right considered, I feel, for selecting him as the award winner. The basic structure clearly declared by the Supreme Court is still continuing in course since the last 45 years untouched. It is this aspect now getting importance. I also congratulate Sri Advocate Santosh Kumar for organizing or establishing the Lord Trust and for the last years awarding Krishna Memorial Award to personalities of importance. The Lord Trust, as you know, has been conducting several workshops, seminars and other training programs for advocates, especially for junior lawyers. He has been a member of the Bar Council of Kerala and was the chairman of the Junior Lawyers Welfare Committee. It was with his wholehearted support that the Bar Council of Kerala could establish a Center for Continuing Legal Education in the name of M.K. Nambiar Academy for Bar Council of Kerala, M.K. Nambiar Academy for Continuing Legal Education. I once more felicitate Swamiji for getting this prestigious award in the name of Dr. Iyer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I request Honorable Justice Mr. Devan Ramachandran, High Court of Kerala, to deliver the keynote address.
His Excellency, the Honorable Governor of Kerala, and for me more, the Chief Justice of India, His Lordship Justice P. Sadashivam, His Holiness Kesavananda Bharati Swamiji, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I had inaugurated the morning session. It was by far the same audience. It has swelled up a little bit now because I know why. But believe me, my sentiments now are totally different. It's something that I can't explain. I am in the presence of my Chief Justice of India, and I feel like a schoolboy in presence of a principal of a school. Now the moment is also very, very overwhelming because I am now standing in presence of the Chief Justice of India to honor a man who we have all heard so much about, but we are seeing for the first time. And he is being honored in the name of a legal legend, the kind who has never been before and who will never be after, just as we are Krishna. the moment is more poignant because I grew up my entire life practically in the umbrella of Justice Iyer Krishna. I had that greatest of fortune. Now, when we talk about this moment, I don't know how many of you have thought about this. There is also a very interesting irony, a very pleasant irony, but very interesting irony. Kesavananda Bharati Swamigal had actually challenged the Land Reforms Act before the Honorable Supreme Court. This act was a brainchild and a passion of Justice Iyer Krishna. And the man who led that challenge, we are honoring him. But then, I have spoken about this to Justice Krishna when I had my moments with him. I have spoken about the Kesavananda Bharati case with him. A lot we have spoken about. And believe me, Justice Krishna was very happy with the result. He was very happy that the basic structure clearly has come out so well. He was very happy that the Constitution amendment, the powers and amendment will always be circumscribed by this concept called the basic structure. So this is the irony that I face today. We are honoring the man who challenged a section that is an act that was created by Justice Iyer Krishna in the name of Justice Iyer Krishna. That's agreeable symmetry because eventually the rule of law has now triumphed. Whatever be the nature of the challenge, eventually what we now see is a complete rule of law. Now, speaking about Swamiji, like any of you here, we have heard about him so much, we have spoken about his name so much, we have taken his name without his permission all our lives. Every day there would be at least half a dozen cases where the Kesavananda Bharati judgment is cited. We never knew the eminence behind it. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the trust presents you the eminence of the Swamiji. Now, I'm asking you a keynote address. Keynote means the most important address, or the most important aspects of the address. What is more important that we see the man in flesh and blood? This is the Kesavananda Bharati. When I was invited to this occasion, they said that Chief Justice Sadashiva is coming. I was completely ready to come. I had not even the slightest of hesitation. But then when they said it is free, I literally ran here today. And I was waiting from the morning to meet the Swamiji. Now, like somebody else spoke about Swamiji here. Swamiji is a Carnatic and a Hindustani vocalist. We don't know whether the Swamiji will be willing to regale us today. The most exponent of the Yakshagana that His Eminence has composed songs and drama in the Yakshagana ethos. The history books will tell you that Swamijigal became the pontiff of the Ednir Mutt at a young age of 19 in the year 1961. The Kesavananda Bharati judgment was mere 13 or 12 years after that in 1973. Swamijigal is a patron of education, of culture, of arts. I am told that there are arts festivals being conducted at the Mutt on a regular basis. Swamijigal is in the helm of a Carnatic school, a Kannada school, stand corrected, a Kannada school, a junior college. The Vidya Mandira English school is also a Sanskrit Veda Pathashala. So ladies and gentlemen, we are not really honoring the name of the Kesavananda Bharati. We are honoring the man today, the multifaceted man, not merely the name behind the judgment, but a man who otherwise also is completely deserving of the award in the name of the great man, Justice Iyer Krishna. Before I close, I'll just tell you a small tidbit. Justice Krishna Iyer was passionate about Carnatic music, very passionate. His wife, we call her Sharadama. She was also a wonderful veena player. She used to sing well. And I remember, I think in 2007 or 8, at Justice Krishna Iyer's invitation, none other than Yeshu Das came to Ernakulam. We had a small gathering at the town hall, Ernakulam, on the first floor. It's a small hall, smaller than this. And believe me, there was no moment that was more brilliant than that. And Justice Krishna Iyer was completely immersed. So today we'll remember Justice Krishna Iyer. We will remember the great man by honoring an equally great man, the Swamiji. Thank you very much.
you very much, sir. Next, I request Advocate Shahid Ahmed, patron of Law Trust, to deliver the presidential address.
I am happy to testify that the Law Trust knows no fatigue of time or age in relation to the stage. Hence, it is edifying that the Law Trust is honored by arranging such an august assembly with the Honorable former Chief Justice of India and the present Governor of the State of Kerala, Justice N. Sadashivam, as the chief guest of the function, and an array of dignitaries, including the great dignitary that we are assembled here to honor Sri Kesavananda Bharati, Justice Devan Ramachandran, Dr. N.K. Jayakumar, Advocate Joseph John, Advocate Mangala Tara, Advocate Prem Kumar, my dear friend, Garimkulam Santosh Kumar. The Law Trust recognize and honor those who contributed exceptionally for the welfare of the society by conferring them its prestigious Justice V.R. Krishna Award every year. The award is instituted in the fond memory of the legend of judiciary, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer, as a token of respect to him. This year, the Trust unanimously resolved to confer its prestigious Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer Award 2018 to His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati, recognizing his outstanding contribution in the field of constitutional law in India, which has benefited every citizen. Dear friends, somewhere in the space may be still resounding the fearless voice of Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer, reminding us of the indispensability of the judiciary in social reformation, strengthening and humanizing the downtrodden and the derelict. With the treasure of his unparalleled knowledge and through the furnace of his wonderful intelligence, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer has alchemized Indian judiciary to the benefit of the poor and the downtrodden. The stalwart of the judiciary, as Justice Krishna Iyer can be epithetized, has given us the answer through the fearless stretching of his hands to the perfection of Indian judiciary. Beyond all times and climes, the voice of Justice Krishna Iyer will ring through, dispelling the darkness of doubts with regard to judiciary. The refinement of a nation can be estimated from the power and purity of the judiciary as exemplified by Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer. With no tinge of exaggeration, I like to affirm that Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer has proved through his life that the judiciary has been not only the champion of the law, but also the savior of the people with its genuine interest in the inalienable rights of the people. This auspicious occasion, in memory of late Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer, testifies the solemnity of the invincibility of judiciary. His Holiness Kesavananda Bharati has very wisely, properly and unequivocally evoked an epoch-making judgment from the Honorable Supreme Court of India in 1973, protecting the basic structure of the Constitution of India. Of course, as Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran pointed out here, ironically, he was challenging the Land Reforms Act, but that turned to be a historic judgment for safeguarding the basic structure of the Constitution of India, but for which the very existence of democracy in India would have been questioned. The chance to honor This venerable personality comes in as an honor to the law trust. I am not elaborating because our dear President has given me a warning that I should stop within 5 minutes. Of course, I cannot conclude my speech without mentioning about my junior advocate Santosh Kumar, who is undoubtedly the incarnation of Nishkama Karma, the host of golden promises in the field of law, formed by the selfless efforts with his great service to humanity. I have reiterated on many occasions in this platform and another functions of the Law Trust that it is a great boon to me that he is my junior. It is enriching to have such a junior who is a friend, of course my guide, philosopher and guardian, not only to me, to all of many of us assembled here.
Thank you very much, sir.
I conclude my speech inviting all assembled here to cooperate and work together with us in Law Trust for serving humanity and to create a fearless society. I again use this opportunity to thank the former Chief Justice of India, the governor of our state, the best person to award this honor, Sri Kesavananda Bharati. No person other than him is the befitting person, and we are really honored and we are lucky to have him here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Next is the award conferring ceremony. Justice P. Sadashivam present the award. I request His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati to kindly accept the award. Kesavananda Bharati to deliver the reply speech.
ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानीकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ നമഃ. അത്യന്തപാലം അതസീ കുസുമപ്രകാശം ദിഗ്വാസസം കനകഭൂഷണ ഭൂഷിതാംഗം വിസ്രസ്തകേശം അരുണാധരം ആയതാക്ഷം കൃഷ്ണം സ്മരാമി മനസാ നവനീതഹസ്തം കൃഷ്ണം സ്മരാമി സശംഖചക്രം സകിരീടകുണ്ഡലം സപീതവസ്ത്രം സരസീരുകേക്ഷണം സകാരവക്ഷസ്ഥല കൗസ്തുഭശ്രിയം നമാമി വിഷ്ണും ശിരസ ചതുർഭുജം നമസാ നമാമി വിഷ്ണും ശിരസ ചതുർഭുജം ശ്രുതിസ്മൃതിപുരാണാനാം ആലയം കരുണാലയം നമാമി ഭഗവത്പാദം ശങ്കരം ലോകശങ്കരം. സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, ഞാൻ രണ്ടു വാക്ക് മലയാളത്തിൽ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ സംസാരിക്കാമെന്ന് നിശ്ചയിച്ചു. പക്ഷേ ഇവരൊക്കെ നല്ല സംസാരിച്ചു. ഞങ്ങളെ ഗവർണറും കൂടെ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറയാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല, മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെ രണ്ട് വാക്ക് സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ സംസാരിക്കാൻ ഒന്നുമില്ല. എല്ലാ ഇവിടെ ജഡ്ജസും സുഹൃത്തുക്കളും സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഈ ഫണ്ടമെൻ്റൽ റൈറ്റ്സിനെ ക്ലെയിം ചെയ്യാനുണ്ടായ ഒരു ഉദ്ദേശ്യം സാധാരണമായി എല്ലാ ജനങ്ങൾക്കും അവരവരുടെ സമ്പാദ്യത്തിനെ സൂക്ഷിക്കാൻ അവർ ബാധ്യസ്ഥരാണ്. അത് പൈസയിലുണ്ടാവും, പ്രോപ്പർട്ടിയിലുണ്ടാവും, ഇനി ഏത് വിധത്തിലായെങ്കിലും അത് വേണം. സംസാരത്തിലുണ്ടായ വ്യക്തികൾക്ക് അവരെ ഭാര്യയെ കുട്ടികളെ മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാനുണ്ടായ ചുമതലയില്ല. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നല്ല സംസ്ഥ നടത്തിക്കുന്നവർക്ക്, അമ്പലം മഠങ്ങളെ നടത്തുന്നവർക്ക് കൂടെ ചില ചുമതലകളുണ്ടാവും. ഇതിനൊക്കെ അവരെ പണത്തിനെ സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്നത്, അതിനെ മാറ്റി പ്രോപ്പർട്ടി ആയിട്ടോ അതിനെ സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്നത് ആവശ്യമാണ്. അത് മനുഷ്യനുണ്ടായ പൗരത്വം, അധികാരമാണ്. അതിനെ എടുത്തെങ്കിൽ ശരിയല്ല എന്ന് വെച്ച് അന്നത്തെ കാലം നിശ്ചയിച്ച് ഭാരത് ലോ ആയിട്ടുണ്ടായ MK നമ്പ്യാർ അവരാണ് ഈ കേസിനെ ആരംഭിച്ചത്. പിന്നെ ആവശ്യമായി പാൽക്കിവാല മറ്റുള്ള സുപ്രീം കോടതി അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ്സ് അതിനെ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. മറ്റുള്ള എല്ലാ വിഷയങ്ങളും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് ഇതുവരെ ആ ഒരു ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റ് സുപ്രീമായിട്ട് തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്. ഏത് പാർലമെന്റിന്റെ ഡിസിഷനും അതിനെ മാറ്റാൻ സാധിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. കൂടുതൽ പറയാൻ ഞാൻ ബാധ്യസ്ഥനല്ല, പറയാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. ഇതിനെല്ലാം അറിഞ്ഞ ഹൈക്കോടതിയും സുപ്രീം കോടതി ചീഫ് ജസ്റ്റിസ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ടായ ഗവർണർ തന്നെ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. അവർക്ക് അതിനെല്ലാം അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഭാഷണം നേടിയ ജഡ്ജസ്മാരുണ്ട്, വക്കീലന്മാരുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും ലോ പഠിച്ചവരാണ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞെങ്കിൽ അത് അത്ര ശരി പോകില്ല. പക്ഷെ ഇതിനെ ഈ ലോ ട്രസ്റ്റ് ഇവരെ എന്തോ വിശേഷമായി കരുതി ഇവിടെ ക്ഷണിച്ച് വേണമെന്ന് ഇതിൻ്റെ ലോ ട്രസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ അധ്യക്ഷനായ സന്തോഷ് കുമാർജി 2-3 തവണ ഞങ്ങളെ മഠത്തിലേക്ക് വന്നു. അവർക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ ഇവരെല്ലാം ഞാൻ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. അദ്ദേഹം സമ്മതിച്ചിട്ടേ ഇല്ല. അവരിപ്പോൾ 3-4 പേരുണ്ടായി. ലാസ്റ്റ് ഒരു വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു, സ്വാമിജി അവിടെ വരണം, നിങ്ങളെ നോക്കണം, ചിലവർക്കല്ല അപേക്ഷയുണ്ട്, അതിനായി വരണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. നിർബന്ധമായിട്ട് പറയുമ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു സ്നേഹബന്ധത്തിൽ ഉള്ളപ്പെട്ട് ഞാൻ വന്നതാണ്. ഇതുവരെ നിങ്ങൾ സത്യം പറയാൻ നിങ്ങളെ സെക്രട്ടറിമാർ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, അവർക്ക് ഏത് അവാർഡും ഒന്നും കൂടെ ഞാൻ എടുത്തവനല്ല. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനെ സന്തോഷ് കുമാർജി തെറ്റിച്ചു. ഈ നിങ്ങളെ അഭിമാനത്തിൽ വിശ്വാസത്തിൽ ഞാൻ കൂടുതൽ പറയാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. ഭഗവാനെ നിങ്ങളെല്ലാം അനുഗ്രഹിക്കണം. വിശേഷിച്ച് ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തിൻ്റെ ആദ്യ പുരുഷനായ ഗവർണറും അതുപോലെ ജഡ്ജസ്മാരും എല്ലാ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളും ഇവിടെ വന്ന് എന്നെ സമ്മാനം ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാം വിശേഷം ഒരു അഭിമാനത്തോടു കൂടി എന്നെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഈ ട്രസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ ഭാരവാഹികളും അതുപോലെ എന്നെ ആദരം ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഈ ട്രസ്റ്റ് ഇനിയും നല്ല നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യട്ടെ. കൃഷ്ണയ്യർ നല്ല ഒരു സ്വഭാവ വ്യക്തിയായിട്ട് എല്ലാ ജനങ്ങളും മൂപ്പരുടെ പേര് ഇന്നും ഓർമ്മിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥിതിയിൽ ആ ലോകത്തെ പറ്റിയിട്ടും മറ്റുള്ള സാമാജിക വിഷയത്തിലും ഇന്ന് സ്വാഗതത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ സംഗീതത്തിലും എല്ലാത്തിലും കൂടെ അദ്ദേഹം നല്ല സൽപ്പേർ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. എല്ലാവരെ വിശ്വാസത്തിന് അർഹമായിട്ടുണ്ടായി. അവരുടെ പേരിൽ കൊടുത്ത ഈ എന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ ഗൗരവ ആധാരം കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ അതിനെ നാം കൂടുതൽ പറയാതെ എല്ലാ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾക്കും ട്രസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ ഭാരവാഹികൾക്കും നിങ്ങൾക്കേവർക്കും നമ്മുടെ ആരാധ്യമൂർത്തികളായ ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തി ഗോപാലകൃഷ്ണസ്വാമി ആയുരാരോഗ്യ ഭാഗ്യങ്ങൾ നൽകി അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ച് നിങ്ങളെ അഭിമാനത്തോടു കൂടി കൊടുത്ത ചക്ക് ഞാൻ നോക്കിയില്ല. അതിനെ അല്പസമയത്തിന് മുമ്പേ ഇവിടെ വെള്ളം പോക്കെല്ലാം വന്ന് വളരെ ജനങ്ങൾ കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിനെ നിങ്ങൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് എൻ്റെ അപേക്ഷ ശുഭ ചെയ്ത് 2 വാക്ക് അവസാനിപ്പിക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. സർവേ ജനാഃ സുഖിനോ ഭവന്തു. ഓം ശാന്തി ശാന്തി ശാന്തി.
Kerala, Justice P. Sadashivam, to address this auspicious function.
His Holiness, Sri Kesavananda Bharati Tirivada, Sri Justice Devan Ramachandran, Honorable Judge, High Court of Kerala, Advocate Shahid Ahmed, Patron Law Trust, Advocate John Joseph, Member Bar Council of Kerala, Professor Jayakumar, Law Advisor to the Honorable Chief Minister, Advocate Santosh Kumar, Chairman Law Trust, Advocate Prem Kumar, Secretary Law Trust, Advocate Mangaladara, learned members of the bar present here, other dignitaries, മാധ്യമ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ സഹോദരന്മാരെ എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ നമസ്കാരം. I'm very happy to address you after presenting to Sri Kesavananda Bharati the Justice Krishna Iyer Award instituted by the Legal Assistance and Welfare Trust, better known as Law Trust, Thiruvananthapuram. Let me at the outset convey my deep sense of appreciation for the initiative of the Law Trust, both in instituting this award and choosing to confer it on Sri Kesavananda Bharati. This is a memorable occasion where the award in memory of one of the greatest legal luminaries is being conferred on an eminent person whose legendary legal fight had resulted in one of the most important judgments in the history of Indian judiciary. I also take this opportunity to congratulate Sri Kesavananda Bharati on receiving the award, which in previous years had been conferred on eminent persons like Sri V.S. Achyutanandam, Professor N.R. Madhav Menon and the late Advocate Neelakanta Sharma. This is also an instance to recall the services of Justice B.R. Krishna Iyer, whom jurist Sri Fali Nariman describes as super judge. Justice Krishna Iyer, who was steadfast in his compassion for the downtrodden, always handled the issues with an insightful humanistic approach. He endeavored to widen the frontiers of human freedom, infusing vibrant sincerity in words and deeds. As a judge of the Supreme Court, he sought to inject a new spirit of democratic sensitivity, a sense of social initiative and perspective into Indian judicial system. Stopping for a moment, as a judge of the High Court Madras and Punjab and Haryana and Supreme Court later as a Chief Justice, nearly 18.5 years I had an opportunity to refer Justice Krishna Iyer's judgment while upholding several principles. That may be the reason when I joined here as Governor of the state on 5th September 2014, within a week I rushed to Ernakulam. I went to his house. I spent more than 1 hour with him, and he mentioned several needs to be done for this state, including bringing a separate cancer hospital similar to RCC center at Thiruvananthapuram and Kochi. And I assured him that everything I will take up those issues to the government. So not only I am very close to the hearts of Justice Krishna Iyer, because I was also branded, when I was in Madras, branded labor-oriented judge, because I had the opportunity to decide more labor cases. I always lean, if law permits, in favor of farmers and workers. That is my policy that I maintained even in Supreme Court, but I cannot violate the law and render a justice. Justice Krishna was credited with the idea of free legal aid to the accused in custody, since he believed that even a convict is entitled to the precious right guaranteed by Article 21. Stopping for a moment, only this judgment also impressed me and my colleague Justice Chauhan when we heard the mercy petitions of filed by the accused in Sri Rajiv Gandhi assassin's case. They were all, 7 persons were awarded death sentence. After confirmation by the Supreme Court, I need not explain because most of you are members of the bar. After confirmation by the Supreme Court, the death sentence, they sent a mercy petition. This enables, our constitution enables them to the President of India for commutation or lesser sentence or release, early release. Unfortunately, that petitions were kept pending for 7 years in the Home Ministry. When these PILs, then all of them filed a PIL that came up before the bench headed myself and Chauhan. Then we heard the central government, they informed the court that the delay was mainly due to the information. They have to collect information from this trial court which awarded the sentence and the High Court and Supreme Court, etc. That may not be a valid ground for 7 years. We said when a Home Ministry sends a fax in the morning, you will get an answer in the evening. So we said it is unreasonable delay, unexplained. Unfortunately, there is no law governing the issue. Then we referred to the judgment of Justice Krishna Iyer. Then we travelled to World United Nations declarations because India was a party to several UN declarations. There also it is mentioned that even a death convict is entitled to certain rights. We said our Article 21 is applicable even to death convicts, not only a free person, a death convict is also entitled to apply. Then we held in the absence of plausible, acceptable, reasonable cause for delay, the 7 years delay we held it is not properly explained. On this ground we commuted the death sentence into life. Of course now the battle is still going on for them after 27 years. Whether they have to be released or not, that is a subject matter of now issues pending with my colleague at Tamil Nadu. So I am not going further. Just I refer to the judgment of Justice Krishna Iyer. I mentioned this case. His timely intervention and interpretation have opened the doors of justice to the oppressed classes. He had literally seen all sides of political and legal life, the walls of prison, parliament and judiciary. Very rarely we get this kind of service from a person other than Justice Iyer. And he could do justice to all the roles he played in life, making it his mission to evolve consensus and to explore strategies to promote peace. In short, his name itself is the strongest inspiration by any lawyer. As I mentioned earlier, the case of Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala that was decided in 1973 and reported in a leading law journal, Supreme Court Cases Volume 4, SCC 225, which gave us the basic structure doctrine, is perhaps the most well-known constitutional decision of the Supreme Court of India. Here I will give some more information. This I'm sorry, I'm referring Kesavananda Bharati, not that I'm not giving respect to our holiness, because normally in court we mention the name of the party. Not only this one case by our Swamiji, this involved 6 different petitions by a number of petitioners who represented the propertied class, persons owning properties, land proprietors opposed to land ceiling laws, sugar companies in Maharashtra, coal mining companies, and farmer princes seeking to preserve their earlier privileges. The petitions questioned whether there were limitations on the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution, particularly the fundamental rights. That was the core issue in all those petitions. Then coming to our topic, while ruling that there is no implied limitation on the powers of Parliament to amend the Constitution, it held that 13 benches, here also 8, I will mention the correct figures, it held that no amendment can do violence to its basic structure. The majority view held that no amendment can do violence to its basic structure. Further, it established Supreme Court's right of review and therefore established its supremacy on constitutional matters. The case and its verdict had far-reaching implications by playing a major role in preserving India's parliamentary democracy. The advocates and law students sitting here may well recall that the heights of eloquence to which eminent jurist late Nani Palkiwala had risen during this case has never been surpassed in the history of the Supreme Court. As we all know, Sri Kesavananda Bharati, leader of a Math in Kerala, had challenged the Constitution 29th Amendment, because I am going to do what are all the subsequent amendments. This challenge relates to 29th Amendment, Constitution Act 1972, which placed the Kerala Land Reforms Act 1963 and its amending act into 9th schedule of the Constitution. Most of the lawyers are aware what will be the effect of inserting certain laws into the 9th schedule. The Supreme Court bench in this Kesavananda Bharati's case, 13 judges, totally 13 judges, ultimately upheld the Land Reforms Act and the Amendment Acts that had been challenged in a 7-6 majority. That is the problem in many sensational matters. The majority is only 1. 7 judges upheld, 6 deferred. Now I remember nothing wrong in disclosing, it is a reported case. When I had the opportunity to hear the election of then President of India, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, his unsuccessful candidate Sangma, who contested for presidency, challenged it in the Supreme Court. As per the rules, it has to be, only Supreme Court gets jurisdiction and it has to be heard minimum 5 judges, Constitution bench. Now I was one of the 5-judge bench. My predecessor, Altamas Kabir was the Chief Justice, I was number 2. We heard it for 1 month. Even Ramjit Malani appearing for Sangma has threatened, no, I am going to bring so-and-so to this witness box, etc., etc. That is his type of argument. We heard it patiently, we noted everything. Ultimately, why I am saying there also, out of 5, 3 judges upheld his election, 2 deferred, 2 held that election is bad. See, narrow, only 1, because of 1 judge's verdict, everything was went on smooth till his period is coming to an end. No, sometimes it happens, but it depends upon the person who holds the bench. To my knowledge, I can proudly say I had the opportunity to preside over several constitution bench judgments, and I persuaded my colleagues to give a unanimous judgment. In fact, I can, because advocates are there, I can say one more judgment and I proceed. When the Member of Parliament fund, MP land fund was introduced, passed by the Parliament, unfortunately one of the sitting member of the Rajya Sabha, even now he is a sitting member from Jammu Kashmir region, he is a leader of a Panther party, his name is Bhim Singh, Mr. Bhim Singh. He challenged that MP land. That also came up before a constitution bench. Originally before 3 judges bench, headed by Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, my Chief Justice, and I was on his right and one more judge on his left on the first bench. Then Mr. Venugopal, the then present Attorney General, was his advocate. He started arguing. I conveyed to Honorable Chief Justice, it is an important issue, so it is going to be it may, suppose if you hold against, it may affect the members, elected members of Parliament and legislature. Why not be referred into larger bench, constitution bench? Justice Balakrishnan readily agreed and referred the matter to next week and to the constitution bench. In the constitution bench, my seniority was 4. I was a junior judge. Then Mr. Venugopal, in his capacity, he argued the whole day, maybe up to 3:30. He convinced all the 4 judges this legislation is bad. He convinced the judges, maybe except myself. I did not agree with him. We cannot give money to our elected government. They may misuse it. This is his argument. It should be routed only through budget, state and central budget. Then 3:30 the Attorney General came and argued, defended the government. Within half an hour he concluded his argument. 4 o'clock we resolved. That is a practice, and all of us, we went to Chief Justice chamber because the bench was presided over by Chief Justice. He offered tea. Then he asked us to express our individual views. All the 4 judges have a little doubt. Then like Attorney General, I convinced all the 4 judges, sir, I come from a rural area. I know the needs of our public, rural people. Suppose a government is a different political party, particular MP or MLA is a different political party. He or she may not get a good scheme in his constituency. Where these people will go? That is happening. It is not a secret thing. Because I am a farmer son, I know these problems. Before my elevation to Supreme Court, my village road was only a mud road. Only after my elevation, so many persons visited, then the collector put a tar road and I am happy. Now I am using it conveniently. No, why I am mentioning? Then I convinced. Not only that, constitutionally it is valid. There is a provision in the constitution. There is a miscellaneous provision. So even if there is any problem in our home accounts, we will put some amount under the miscellaneous expense and tally. So that was the intention of the framers. So we can bring it. And I said, after all, they are all elected by people. We are not elected by people. Even governors, that is my view. We always must respect the elected people. So they may, and if you go through the scheme, there are several checks and balances. The MP or MLA cannot use this money as he likes. It should be approved by the district collector if it is within district. If it is within Thiruvananthapuram, it should be approved by the corporation commissioner. And after the completion of work, all the details accounts are to be placed before Assembly and Parliament respectively. When there are so many checks and balances, why should we take away the power of the elected government? Then all the 4 judges agreed that the Chief Justice asked me to prepare a judgment. Within a week I prepared a judgment. It is a 77-page judgment. Upheld the validity, unanimously I upheld the validity. Thereafter I received letters from 41 MPs of all political parties. Sir, at least 1 or 2 judges like you are here to recognize the elected members' right. Maybe that is my view from the beginning. Now I have mentioned several things in the court we decide, sensational or something. And coming to our topic, we may say that Kesavananda Bharati had lost the case, but causing a decision that further strengthened our democracy is no small matter. We have seen that despite many amendments so far made, the hopes and ideas of those who framed our constitution remains as intact and identifiable as when it was adopted by the Constituent Assembly in 1949. You may not aware, if you had opportunity to sit in Supreme Court on Tuesday to Thursday, Monday and Friday, we made the judges, I can't say now we may, judges may fly like fly. They can't spend more than 30 seconds to each case because they read A to Z, the front page wrapper to last page. I can proudly say the work of our judges in judiciary, particularly Supreme Court and High Court, is like armed forces. We never waste. Once we accept the judicial post, first day itself we get a judicial separation from our wife because we have to concentrate all day and night. That I did. So these fresh matters we decide within a minute. But when you same advocate, when you sit in the court on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you may get bored. Because even for the settled principle of 3 + 3 = 6, we may ask several judgments. Why don't you refer some discussion in the Constitution, Constituent Assembly, or even 19th Old Act, etc. Because that is the Supreme Court is the last court. So far, I don't think any God has changed its view, unless the Parliament reverses, modifies, amends. Then we owe this principally to the Supreme Court's decision in the case filed by Sri Kesavananda Bharati. In a way, by losing a case, he too had scored a victory of special social kind. What the Supreme Court faced in 1973 was a struggle for supremacy. Kesavananda Bharati created a check on parliamentary attempts to eliminate judicial review and seek absolute power to amend the constitution. But it also conceded to Parliament the widest latitude to institute socio-economic policies. It infused to recognize the right to property as a basic feature of the constitution, overruling Golaknath case and paving the way for land reforms. For paucity of time, I am not going into Golaknath case. Prior to Kesavananda Bharati, nearly 30 constitutional amendments had already been passed since the constitution came into effect in 1950. And there have been nearly, after the Kesavananda Bharati's judgment, nearly 70 amendments since Kesavananda Bharati carried out by the Parliament. Despite the larger number of amendments made to the Indian Constitution, the hope and ideas of its framers remain intact and identifiable as the Constitution adopted by the Constituent Assembly in 1949. We owe this principally to the Supreme Court's decision in Kesavananda Bharati's case. On a personal side, Sri Kesavananda Bharati, who has been a sannyasi since the age of 19, is heading Sri Edenir Mutt, which belongs to Parambara of Sri Totak Totakacharya, one of the first 4 disciples of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Apart from being a Carnatic and Hindustani vocalist and master of all sections of Yakshana, Swamiji has also written many devotional songs and dramas. On the social level, he has been fearless in his opinions about matters of religious faith and spirituality, as seen in his views on the developments in the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram. I am certain that in his role as a leader in education and dissemination of art and culture, he is contributing greatly to the cultural achievement of our society. I convey my best wishes to Sri Kesavananda Bharati for a healthy and more fruitful life ahead. I must admit that I too feel honored to have got an opportunity to present this award to him. The conferment of this award is another instance that emphasizes the supreme power of our sublime constitution, which is most progressive holy book of democracy. The essence and everlasting strength of our constitution must reach every citizen of our country so that they would be empowered to contribute to the strength of our democracy. I hope the Law Trust, which conducts legal awareness programs and provides legal aids to the needy, would also take up campaigns to educate the masses on the strength of our constitution and our rights and duties prescribed in it. Day after tomorrow I am going to Kasaragod district, where at my request the Rotary Club has printed the preamble and fundamental duties in the constitution in a 3-page note, both in Malayalam and English. They are going to distribute all students free of cost. So if every student is aware of the preamble of our constitution and fundamental duties, yes, everyone claim fundamental rights and raise slogans in front of Secretariat and Raj Bhavan. They have a right, but they must also remember fundamental duties. So I am going to ask every district it should be supplied to all the students before I leave the state. I once again greet everyone present here today and compliment the organizers for conducting this function in a befitting manner. Ellavarkum and Assam Sagal, Nandi Jai.
Thank you very much, sir, for the valuable and enlightening address. Next, I request Advocate Prem Kumar to deliver the most.
Honorable Governor of Kerala, Justice Kesavananda, His Holiness Sri Kesavananda Bharati, the Father, Honorable Justice Mr. Devan Ramendran, respected Shahid Sir, respected Ingejur Sir, Sandosh Sir, Joseph Sir, Mangaladharan Madam, dear friends. Like every year, this year also a grace of God, the Law Trust to be able to confer the prestigious Iyer Krishna Iyer Award to recognize and honor those who have contributed extensively to the society. We are very much privileged that this year also the prestigious award was given. We have also been privileged to have Honorable Justice Mr. Devan Ramendran, Judge High Court of Kerala. His footsteps have spoken wise words and elevated us all. I express our sincere gratitude to him. We are very much blessed to have all the Sri Kesavananda because today in this function, and we have been fortunate to listen to his words. We express our gratitude to him for giving his consent for attending the function and to receive the award. I once again thank him on behalf of myself and behalf of the Law Trust. The Director of the Law Trust, senior to our Chairman Sandosh, for being with us in the auspicious occasion and delivering his procession after us. I thank you, sir, in my own and on behalf of the Law Trust. We have heard the recitation offered by the learned person engaged on advice on law to the Honorable Chief Minister We have also presented an excellent seminar during the previous session. I am expressing our sincere thanks to gratitude to Jehovah on behalf of our daughters and Iyer. I express my sincere gratitude to the Samosh for his excellent mental skills. He is our guru and the chairman of the daughters. He has given all the guidance, support and coordination for this grand function. I express our sincere thanks to him on my own and because of the office. Next, to have it in this occasion, I thank you on my own and on behalf of the office. I express sincere gratitude to I express my sincere gratitude for the cooperation and support yesterday by many communities of the rights for making this function a great success. I express our sincere thanks to the print and electronic media, delegates, law students, trust members for their support in making this function a great success. Last but not the least, I am expressing sincere thanks to all of you who are accepted our invitation and attended the function for making this day very memorable. Thank you.
All are requested.
വേദിയിലും സദസ്സിലുമുള്ളവർ അതാത് സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കുക. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണർ ഇറങ്ങിയതിനു ശേഷം മാത്രമേ ഈ ഹാൾ വിട്ട് പുറത്തു പോകാവൂ.
Thank you.